Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, and today we are going to configure the Microsoft Entra ID to have our own custom domain names. When you create a new tenant, you have a, a domain that it's provided by Microsoft, but let's say that you want to have your own domain. So in order to have it, you can go here in the custom domain names and add a custom domain. Just a reminder, to add a custom domain here, let's say you want something at yourname.com. In order to have that, you must have a provided domain. Otherwise, you will not be able to have this domain. You need to have some provider that will do this name translation. Yeah, so I'm using here the GoDaddy to have it. So the domain that I have is hiderlmh.com. I will add this domain here, and then I will create a new record in my provider. I'm using the GoDaddy here, so I will add a new register here that is the text type as at, and the TTL is the same of this one, and the value, I just grab this value, put here, save, and it's updating my provider. Then yes, it's saying that it's updated and it will take within 48 hours to be in place, but not sure if I verify it will work or I will have to wait for 48 hours. Let's see. It's verifying. That's good. So now we have here a verified domain added. If you refresh it here, you see that we have here. But if you turn back here to overview, you see that we still have here the Microsoft domain as primary. We don't know. We want to change it as well. So in order to change it, you could click on here in your domain you just verified, and so then make as primary. So now we have this domain as primary, and here in the overview, if you refresh this page again, you see we have here the domain as primary. So then now if I see here, I already have a user that we created, and it's under this another domain, that the standard domain, the Microsoft domain. You could be editing it, and so then change here the way that you want, the domain list, the domain that you want to use for this one. Now you have here the domain changed. And now if you create a new user, you see that as standard you have your domain here, or let's say you could choose the other one, it's up to you. But now when you create another user 2, this one you create using your new domain that's just registered. So if I refresh the page here, this user will appear here as the domain we create. But now let's say that for some reason you change this domain, or you need to delete this domain. How you do that? To change it, is almost the same thing. You go into the Microsoft Entra ID, and so then in the custom domain you go click on in the domain, and you see everything is gray here. Why it's gray? It's gray because this one it's it's made as primary, and we need to change this before delete this one. So in order to do that, so you make this another domain as primary. If you go back here, click on in the domain, you see now you could be deleted, but you get another issue here, and it's expected because there are some users, or in that case, we don't have groups or application. We just have users that it's been using this domain. So firstly, we will have to delete this user here. So then you could edit, you have to edit those users, and updating for the other domain and do it for the other user. You could do that by script, or in our case here I'm doing it from the portal. So after save it, you see now that there is an oops, you still having this one. Oh, now if you refresh it, we are able to delete the domain. So then the domain deleted, I refresh it, there isn't here the domain that we added before. And if you go here in the overview and refresh the page, you will also see the primary domain has gone. Even though if you try to create a new user, you just have here the user that the domain that you left there. And that's it, guys. Thank you. Appreciate your time.